not already taken by another displaced parent. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Thanks for calling. If you've got a story about strange things that may have happened to you between 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning, give us a call. I'm sure please sang out for the roundup with CBC.ca. And now, this.
Hello, my name's Amanda McKenzie, and I'm calling from Sarnia, Ontario. And I have a story about a friend or a family friend who is singing at the top of her lungs. Release Harvey Knox. She thought all this time Feliz Navidad was Release Harvey Knox. John McDonald calling from Bearspaw, Cambridge, Nova Scotia. My all-time favorite was my little sister. She used to sing, Jolly old basic golden, bring your ears to twang.
For 40 years, I used to sing the lyrics of the kids song, rock and roll all night. I wanna rock and roll all night. I'm part of that movie.
My dear Tyler, I'm Molly. You know that old Joe Jackson's favorite.
Don't let him, George, don't let him leave yet.
Don't go around the side.
Let's come out the exit door of a school. That's what you get to look at when you come out.
Who's been doing a tour walking across Canada. He's on the western leg of his tour right now. And I don't want to say too much before we get Kristopher in here, but Kristopher, as I said, has been walking across the country. And today we had some of our students, a few of our students, meet Kristopher down at City Hall and do a walk from City Hall up to the school as part of his walk across the country. And Kristopher is here to share a message with you today. And at this time, if we can just have Kristopher and the students come on in and do a little tour of the gym, can you please give Kristopher Knowles an LDR welcome. Some of our finest LDR students and Kristopher Knowles. Over here, Kristopher. As I said, Kristopher's 14 years old from Sarnia, Ontario. Long ways from home. And he's been on this western leg of his tour. He actually started back on January 8th. And he's been walking across on the western tour. He's going to be finishing the western tour June 17th in Vancouver. This is 146th stop on a 200-city tour across the country for Kristopher. After he gets to Vancouver, he will then be flying back to St. John's, Newfoundland, and starting the Eastern tour, going from St. John's, Newfoundland to Toronto, and finishing his tour in Toronto in December 17th. So he's giving up a lot of his time to go on this tour, and he's got an important message for you. A little bit about Kristopher. What grade name, Kristopher? Grade 8. So he wouldn't be here for a couple of years if he was in Nelson, since we started grade 10. We might let you come up here a year early, though. Kristopher, a regular grade 8 kid, except Kristopher needs a liver transplant. Okay, and Kristopher is walking across the country for a reason. He's out to try to make a difference. He recognizes his situation, but he's also out to try to help everyone who may need a liver transplant or any kind of organ transplant now or in the future. And I think it's an admirable thing that Kristopher is doing, traveling across the country, getting the message out just how important this is. Okay, so at this point in time, I'd like to turn it over to Kristopher to tell you his story and what this is all about. Welcome, Kristopher.
First, I'd like to thank my road team. At the very back in the corner, my dad / driver,  'Kelly' Knowles. At the very back in the corner, my dad / driver, 'Kelly' Knowles. At the very back in the corner, my dad / driver, 'Kelly' Knowles. At the very back in the corner, my dad / driver, 'Kelly' Knowles. At the very back in the corner, my dad / driver, 'Kelly' Knowles. At the very back in the corner, my dad / driver, 'Kelly' Knowles. At the very back in the corner, my dad / driver, 'Kelly' Knowles. At the very back in the corner, my dad / driver, 'Kelly' Knowles. At the very back in the corner, my dad / driver, 'Kelly' Knowles. At the very back in the corner, my dad / driver, 'Kelly' Knowles. At the very back in the corner, my dad / driver, 'Kelly' Knowles. At the very back in the corner, my dad / driver, 'Kelly' Knowles. At the very back in the corner, my dad / driver, 'Kelly' Knowles. At the very back in the cor the guy beside him, film director who is making a movie on my walk, Merle Roberts. Hi, my name is Kristopher Knowles. I'm 14 years old. I've been waiting for a liver my whole life. The disease that caused me needing a liver is called Biliary Atresia. It is a common disease among infants. Sadly, most infants die shortly after birth. So far, I've been fortunate enough to still be alive. I've been in and out of the hospital most of my life. I've had over 20 operations that saved my life. I'm doing this walk to bring awareness to the shortage of organ and tissue needed. That's why I thought to myself that there is a way to save people's lives. And if I save a life or lives, it makes us all worthwhile. That's why I'm walking across Canada, to save the 4,000 men, women, and children that are in need of an organ. I'm trying to inspire everybody to be an organ donor. Tell your friends and family about your wishes, and if you do, you'll be my hero, as well as everybody else's. Please don't take your organs to heaven. Heaven knows we need them here. Alone, I can't do this, but together we can. Please make my wish come true. Thank you.
Thanks, Kristopher. And at this time, I'd like to call forward George Marcello from the Step by Step group, which is a nonprofit charitable organization that is working with Kristopher on this project. So George, would you like to come forward?
Alvy Rogers, how's everybody doing this afternoon? Oh, come on, that was pretty lame. The last school was louder than that. How's everybody doing? How does that sound, Chris? Right? Okay, at this part of the assembly, what we do is something called Up Close and Personal with Chris. And it'll give a chance for the students here to ask some questions to Chris or anything concerning organ donations and the campaign. But before we go there, I want to thank some of the following community supporters from your community. I want to thank the Best Western for helping out with accommodations. I want to thank the following restaurants: New China, Mazel One, sorry, apologize. And Main Street Diner for feeding us while we were here. Also want to thank the police department for giving an excellent escort this afternoon. The city of Nelson for receiving Chris at City Hall today. And I also want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the walkers that walked with Chris this afternoon. Please stand up. Thanks. And especially I want to thank Mr. DiBiase for helping to organize this great event today. Thank you. And of course, all the students that are gathered here today, you are the most important people. You are the reason why Kristopher is doing this walk. And he is hoping to inspire everybody here this afternoon to think about organ donations. Now, usually there's that first brave hand that goes up right away as soon as we say, who's that first person that's going to ask that first question? I think I see the hand up there already. Mr. DiBiase, can you please recognize the people that are... Great. Can you stand up?
Do you actually walk everywhere?
No, they won't let me walk the whole thing. I tried. But because of my health problem, I drive into the city and then I walk about 1 to 10 kilometers into the city. But because I'm going to about 200 cities, I'm doing more walking. I'm walking more than I walk. Actually, walking more.